Hello everyone, this is Nilesh here once again. In the last video, I talked about what is Java annotation, why annotations were added in Java language, what all different types or retention levels of annotations, and some commonly seen annotations. In this video, I am going to show you how to create your own custom annotation and how to process that annotation using reflection technique. So here we go. Java uses interface like syntax to create annotation. It uses @ before interface to create annotation, and annotation members are declared similar to the interface methods. Let us create a simple Java project to understand user-defined annotations better. So let me take you to Eclipse IDE and create a simple Java project for learning annotations. In this example, we will create a very simple type of annotation. I will put it in some example package, and name of annotation I'm giving as readme. Now annotation can have multiple members. The implicit member is value. If no member is specified while applying this annotation, then the default member name is considered as value. We can declare another member, or we can declare one more member. By default, all these members are compulsory when the annotation is applied on certain class or its members. However, we may choose to give default value to one or more members using default keyword. Here I'm giving a default value no info, or here I'm giving default value to unknown. This way I have created an annotation for which only one member is compulsory and other members, they are optional. If they are not specified while applying the annotation, at that time their default values will be considered. As we have learned earlier, annotation can be applied at the type level, at field level, method level, constructor level, parameter level. But how do we specify it when we create our own annotation? This can be given by using target annotation. This target annotation, you can specify multiple values like type, like field, like method, like constructor, like parameter, and so on and so forth. If I return only type, it means that annotation can be used only at the type level, and if I try to use it at the field level or constructor level or method level or argument level, it will give me compile time error. Apart from this, we need to also specify what type of, what retention level this annotation should be having. We learned earlier that annotations can be of source type, class type, or runtime. For this demonstration, we are looking at runtime type annotations, and this can be done by giving retention annotation, and I need to specify the value over here, let's say runtime. If you have noted very clearly, while giving value of the annotation, we have not used any member. When you have not used any member, the implicit member is value. When we have not used any member, implicit member is value. So writing value equal to is optional in this case. These two annotations we have declared while creating our own annotation. Such annotations which are to be used on user-defined annotation are called as meta annotations. Now let us find out what are different ways we can apply these annotations. Let me create a couple of classes to understand this annotation application. Here I am writing one very simple sum class, and on this class I can write annotation readme. As you have noticed, we have given default values to info and author. However, there is no such default value given for the value member. So this member is mandatory while declaring the annotation, applying the annotation on any class. So I can write over here some details or whatever that you wish to. Again, by default, this is assigned to the value member. Just to make it readable, you may write this value equal to explicitly. However, at this moment, I have not given other members, so their default values will be considered. But for the sake, we can always create some other class as well. Now, for another class, I might want to take the annotation with some more details, and I can specify, let's say, author over here. In this case, now as author value is given, this value will be considered, and since info member is not given, that default value of info, that is no info, will be considered. You can also mention all three members explicitly. I'm creating under class, and I'm also writing info member. This is more info, or you can write any message that you wish to. You must have seen that in all these examples, I have applied annotation only at the class level. Can I apply this to some other class and at field level or method level? Answer is no. If you try to apply it at this level, you will get some error, indicating that this annotation cannot be resolved to a type. As we have mentioned earlier, this annotation is designed to work only on a given type, not on field or method or constructor or parameter or any other place. So this is not allowed. This will raise an compile time error. Now, as we have understood how to apply annotation to the class level or its member level, now it's time to understand how we can process these annotations. And as mentioned earlier, these annotations are declared as runtime. These annotations can be loaded, accessed using reflection technique. Now, let us create a main class to process these annotations using reflection technique. So here I'm creating a main class. and here I can try to get the annotations applied on any of the class using java.lang.class object associated with that class. Let's say some class dot class. This is java.lang.class object associated with the some class, and I can call its method like get annotations. There is one more method, get declared annotations. Get annotations method return annotations applied on that class as well as annotations inherited from its superclass. Get declared annotation method returns only annotations declared on that class. Right now, on some class, we have applied only one annotation. So, only that annotation will be available as a return value into the array of annotation object. I can use a for loop to display all these annotations, and there I can use toString method for this. While executing the program, you must have seen that there is only readme annotation available, and the value has got the value given by us, while other two members, since we have not given, they have taken its default values. We can continue further, and instead of just getting general toString method, we can access the individual members if we typecast it to our readme type. This can be done by checking whether the annotation is of desired type, and if it is, we can do typecasting. Now this checking can be simply done by using instance of operator. So if it is of this type, I can use typecasting syntax to access the annotation. Now, if you have a readme object, you need not to use only toString method. Instead of that, you can start accessing individual members of that annotation. And there I'm accessing another member, let's say author, or you can also access info member in similar way. In some cases, you are interested in checking whether a particular annotation is present on a class or not. In that particular case, instead of going through all the annotations, it is good idea to only look for the desired annotation, and that can be done by using get declared annotation. While this, you can specify which annotation type you are looking for and collect it in the respective object. Once you have a respective object, you can always print its values one by one. Please make a note, in case this annotation is not present on the class, it will return null value, which you can refer it from the document. Here I shown you example how you can get the annotation on a class level. What if annotation is present at field level, method level, or parameter level? In reflection, we have seen that there are method object, field object, constructor object to get the metadata of respective entities. Now, get annotations method is available in all these field, method, constructor object. we can use those methods to get the details. I hope here you have got the clear idea about how we can use reflection technique to process the annotations at runtime. And as I mentioned earlier, this is the similar technique that is used by most of the popular frameworks like Hibernate or Spring use to process the annotations. Apart from this, there are couple of more meta annotations available. We have already discussed about two meta annotations like retention and target annotation. But we can also have some more annotations like documented and which indicate that the annotation to be processed by specially documentation tools like Javadoc tool. So Javadoc tool will document these annotations. Also, as I was telling you, the difference between get annotations and get declared annotations. Get declared annotation only gives you annotation on the given class, while get annotation gives you annotation on the class as well as annotations inherited from its superclass. Let me tell you, annotations can be inherited from the superclass using another meta annotation called as inherited. In this video, we talk about how to create our own custom annotation and how to process them using reflection technique. I hope you found this video useful. Thank you very much for watching this.